Hey guys, welcome to Casual Corner Chats. I am Luke.
I'm Vu.
I'm Sam.
And as you guys can see, Jenny isn't here right now. She's currently at the State of Origin, cheering on our state team. But we do have a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ro.
Nice to meet you, Ro. Do you listen to the podcast?
Yes, all the time.
Really?
Every Monday,
Liar.
come
Liar.
into work, and I'm actually just messaging Sam because we work on the same floor, and I'm like, wow, this was really interesting. And then I have a full debrief.
Yeah, we
with
spill the
Sam.
tea,
Wow, really?
honestly.
Who has like the most unhinged takes?
Oh, that's. I think just with the amount of people, like the people that I surround myself with, I think probably I'm most unfamiliar with Luke's takes. But I
interesting.
don't think that's on you.
No,
I think
no,
it's
fair
just
enough.
like who I'm surrounded like with and what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
So when I hear it from your perspective, I'm like, oh, I didn't even actually think about it like that. And then I do a full debrief, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty good like. It keeps me more entertained than work does.
Yeah, we have like a
Nice.
full chat at work about it. It's really interesting.
No, fair,
I enjoy
fair.
it.
Cool, sweet.
So how do you and Sam know each other? Because Sam brought you here tonight.
Yes, correct.
Yes. So we met, I think, during lockdown. Not during lockdown, but
Right after lockdown.
yeah, right after we came out of lockdown.
Yep.
We were foodie Instagrammers.
Yes.
Oh.
Back in the
Yeah.
day.
Back in the day.
okay.
Yeah.
I think also back then, I think it's still applicable to now. Whenever you go to a restaurant, they invite you to kind of taste test the food and
Yep.
take photos of it.
Yeah.
And usually there's just so much food that they try and invite as many people to try and, I guess meet new people as well as, just trying new foods together.
Yeah.
And finish the food, obviously.
Back when food was affordable.
Yeah, back when food was like during
Relatively,
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we met one time, like,
Yeah. In the morning
for
at a
brunch.
cafe in Redfern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we had a K barbecue for dinner planned as well.
Well, we actually didn't have that plan.
No, yeah, that was a
Like
spontaneous
we
plan.
got
cute.
spontaneously
You spent
invited
the
to
whole
that.
day together?
Yes, we actually spent the whole day.
Like just
nice.
us two.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we pretty
Yeah.
much like hit it off.
Yeah.
And then
straight away.
like inseparable
Yeah.
after that.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's like the meet cute. Okay.
Yeah, this was exactly like
Yeah.
how any romantic
Yes.
you want to meet your romantic partners.
Yeah, two
Really
straight
his
women
friends,
like
yeah.
meeting each other. Okay.
We always talk about how we're in the relationship.
Right.
To our
Oh yeah.
partners.
Oh yeah.
So
100%. Like my partner's well aware of the fact that it's me and Sammy
Yeah.
in this.
and does Dan feel the same way? Like Dan's referred
I think
to
he's
you guys?
getting. I think he's getting to an understanding.
I think he's like self-preparing himself. So I think even if he comes, he will go like, oh, I'll just be here.
yeah.
But then other boys, then like together.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
did like
You know?
one.
Yeah.
Like we had dinner one time, and I
Yeah.
think the boys were just like, oh, like let's hug it out. Like,
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's cry
hang
together.
out.
Because clearly our wives like each other more
Crazy.
than we.
Yeah.
And I think Sam mentioned on a podcast before, but you introduced Dan to Sam. Is that correct?
No, I'm not that. I
Oh.
know the friend
Not
you're
that
referring
friend.
to, but
Oh,
not,
okay,
that's not
my
me.
bad.
That's
Wrong-
Lily.
wrong- Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
person.
Different. Yeah.
And for one of our later episodes or previous episodes, what was your first impression of Dan? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Sammy
Okay.
did say that you guys were talking about this at last week or so.
Yes.
We really liked him. Well, we met him with another friend of ours, and both of us got really good impressions from Dan. I don't think we had, to be fair, I think that first time we met him, we hadn't seen each other in a while, so it was really us catching up rather than
Yeah.
us meeting Dan. But the vibes were there.
Because there was
you
6
know?
of us. It was 3 couples all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was Ro, Libby, and I, and our partners, and then we hadn't seen each other in a while because I think someone had been traveling. I think you went traveling,
Yeah,
and then
unsurprisingly.
I think Libby also, and then we just hadn't seen each other in a while. So probably not the best,
Time to
Timing.
meet. Yeah,
Yeah.
to meet Dan.
especially because lunch wasn't even that long as well. I think it was like less than 2 hours, and then we
Yeah.
all kind of parted ways.
Yeah.
So but then there's been more instances like
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
great. Love Dan for you.
Nice, nice. That's cool. That's cool.
appreciate it.
Well, today Sam has brought us the topic of millennials versus Gen Z. Please, Sam, take it away. What do you have for us today?
I thought this would be a really interesting topic because I consider myself as a millennial. A millennial is an age between 1981 to 1996. So I guess we're on the cusp of
Well, cuspers, yeah.
of a millennial. And Ro herself is
A
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Yes.
So, how old are you exactly?
I
She's
am
2 years younger.
26.
Oh,
Turning
okay.
27.
Yeah.
Haram, bro. That's too young.
What?
That's too
It's
young,
not
bro.
that much different.
That's so young,
No.
It's not technically a lot different in age, but I think when we're talking generation and what you grew up with, cultural wise,
Yeah.
it feels larger than the amount of time that you guys are actually age difference.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so how are you guys friends, like, despite that? You know?
I think Ro's actually really mature for her age.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the experiences that she's gone through is like, I think she kind of, how do I say it? Like she was kind of accelerated in a respect in my mind
Okay.
of the experiences. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
understand like what I'm saying, but
Yes.
yeah, I think that's why I think we got along so like easily,
Okay.
so quickly. Because of her maturity. Not that I'm saying I'm mature, because there's
No.
aspects of me that that's not. But I think for her age, like I think she's very like well spoken. And I think just like the experiences that she's gone through, I think she's
Okay.
Not
kind of like
to-
in a similar
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, not to toot my own horn, but I think I have a quite high level of emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And I
I
feel
agree.
like as long as you have a decent amount of emotional intelligence, I feel like you can get along with pretty much anyone, as long as anyone's open to conversations.
Yeah.
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 But I
do agree.
think I'm still a little goofy, like a Gen Z.
Yeah,
although that's
yeah.
the
She has her
difference.
moments. Yeah. And I think like sometimes the slang that you use, and
Oh, yeah.
I think through like social media, there's just like there's discrepancies, which we'll go
Okay,
through.
yeah, we'll go
which
through.
we'll go through. But yeah.
So yes. So what is our first topic, Sam?
So first topic is, well, first of all, I wanted to ask if you guys relate to being a millennial, considering we are on the cusp of a millennial. Or do you
Yeah,
relate to Gen Z more?
Or other.
Yeah.
What
Loki,
is the other?
Loki at heart, I feel like I'm a boomer. Like if I see kids like outside running on the street and they're like loud, I'm like, shut me, oh, I'm trying to sleep. Kind of feels, you know what I mean? And yeah, just stuff like
Yes and
that.
no, yeah.
I don't know. It's
Your
just
knees
like,
are breaking and
yeah,
cracking.
knees are breaking, exactly.
Oh,
Old
physically,
soul, like
yeah,
I enjoy
okay.
the older music as well, and
Okay.
all that stuff. So I
Like,
feel
what kind of decade of music are you into?
But you're also a raver. I'm so confused.
I know,
That's not a baby boomer.
multitudes.
Like,
Like, that's fine.
wait.
Like, you know.
I don't
That's
know
fair.
why. Like
That's fair.
I don't know, like all the old classics, like what do you call it? Earth, Wind and Fire by Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah, all that and ABBA and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like we
The first one I had no idea too.
The no-
What was the first one?
Like you
Earth,
know,
Wind and Fire.
Earth,
Like-
Wind and Fire.
September.
September.
I'm not gonna sing this.
Yeah, and like
You did it, thank
you know the song like Rasputin and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really bad with song names.
See,
so
this is
you
the
need to
difference.
play.
This is the
you guys will
difference.
need to sing it
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's like
Do it.
super old millennial, if not like Gen Xer type stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not boomer. Do you know what I mean? If boomers
Yeah.
is like 60s. You know what I mean?
True.
Like-
True.
Yeah.
But then you would have
Then
grown up
Beatles.
listening to like 70s music, I get, if you
Yeah.
were born in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that's not what his.
Yeah,
No,
like,
yeah, okay, fair
sorry,
enough.
I'm mixing
Yeah.
it up now. But yeah, still at heart, I feel like a boomer.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I don't want to say like old soul type, but kinda. I don't know.
Feels
Like to millennial?
Yeah,
Millennial?
Yeah.
Boomer.
Like
Not a boomer?
not a boomer because
Yeah.
yuck. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a racist or a homophobe. But that's by the way.
Yeah. Fair.
But yeah, like I think there's something about me that like likes old like analog stuff and
Yeah.
and kind of just I don't know, like man in the woods type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just away from society and social
Well,
media
yeah,
and
you're
shit. You know what
like
I mean?
very, like not on social media.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to find me, and I
Yeah.
like it that way.
That's fair. What
That-
about
that
like
I'm cool.
technology?
Like I know how to use it.
Would you say you're tech savvy?
Yeah, I know how to use it, but like I'd rather not.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
the pen and
yeah.
paper's nice. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I would say then, yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be a millennial.
That's me.
Yeah.
What about you two? Like, how do you guys feel?
Oh, I'm definitely a millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're the most millennial one out of all of us.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait. For like our listeners and for us, what is to millennial
It's,
mean?
like, it's just the vibes, bro. You know.
Explain.
Yeah,
Like, what
really.
qualities defines that?
Oh God.
It's like
I'm
like you listen to 2000s like
yeah,
that era.
Like there's an era in like 2010s, like
Yeah.
sort of house music that like you're very into.
Interesting.
Like Avicii. Like
Yeah,
that
okay.
kind of clarity. That
But I
type of
feel like I have.
that's you as a personality.
But I have such
besides-
a spectrum.
Yeah,
I
I
have
mean,
such a spectrum, though.
I say this with love and knowing you as long as I have. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're just the most millennial core one out of all of us.
Okay. Is there any like non-music defining quality that she has?
It's so interesting that you say that. but
I guess her mindset as well.
you need to elaborate on
Yeah,
that.
it's so hard to describe. It's sort of a kind of a grindy, like
Not the work hard,
Mentality.
play hard.
yeah, not
It's
the,
like the
Oh, I feel like it is. Oh,
it's a little bit that, but like
Yeah.
not like super. I
me
need
see
to
if I
get
have
every
something.
promotion and throw people under the bus vibe. But there is
Yeah.
like a corporate ladder that like you're following.
to an extent, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like younger people are kind of like rejecting that because they
Yeah.
know they're never gonna like get
No,
to the
that's
top.
actually so true.
And we'll
You know.
talk about that
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point that we'll talk about in like workplace. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
even the foodie
It's true.
thing, like that's a really millennial thing, you know?
yeah,
it was a.
it's like I think
all
it's like
ages.
a mixture of like
Yeah,
millennial and Gen
somewhat.
Z, but
like-
yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, well, you're right because I definitely associate myself with
And
that.
also as like a older Asian sibling. Do you know what I mean? That sort of
Oh.
I have to be responsible
Oh yeah.
and like
Yeah.
take care of the family
Yeah,
type
yeah.
shit.
That's an actual quality.
Yeah, that
No,
feels
definitely,
like, yeah.
Oh,
definitely equality. Yeah.
Yeah, like Gen X's don't really have that, I think. Whereas millennials
And
kind of
Gen
like
Zs, I don't
have
think
that.
really-
Oh, Gen Zs.
Yeah,
Don't
they
care
don't-
about anything, bro. It's just hedonism. That's it, you know.
Oh, fair.
Yes
Hey.
and no.
No, in a good way. You know what I mean? Like the world is ending. Who cares? You know? And Gen Alpha is just the truth of knows
Yeah.
what that is.
So Sam, what qualities would you name of Rose? Like,
For Ro?
yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like in general, I just use TikTok way too much. Like,
Yeah, she's on it.
I'm on socials
lot,
a bit
yeah.
too much. It's eating away at my screen time, really.
Like chronically online type vibes.
Yeah, like I always need something playing in the background or like
Oh,
just
yeah, okay.
what do you call it when you just doom scroll on
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
phone?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
easy 2 hours gone out of my day for it.
Yeah.
Oh, if Jenny was here, she would vibe with you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, Jenny
Yeah.
would so relate. So relate.
But I think
Yeah. I think also, like, if we're going to talk about work slightly, like, I think Ro's got the mentality of, like, work smart, whereas, like, I'm, like, work hard.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's slightly different. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So I think
interesting.
that's one aspect. Because, yeah, as we said, we do work together. So and we do obviously talk about work. So, yeah, I think that's some aspects.
Fair enough.
But you also, you resonate with being a Gen Z, right?
Yes.
More than,
yeah,
well,
I
you're
do.
not really.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like I resonate more with like interns and grads than I do with anyone.
Me. Yeah, yeah,
Not specifically,
Yeah.
but like anyone in that millennial space, I guess.
It's really
I guess,
fascinating.
yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like whenever I have conversations with them, it feels more like synchronized a little bit. I can definitely get on their wavelength of how the dynamic of the conversation goes, like how it flows. Whereas I think if
Fascinating.
anyone else tried to chime in to a grad slash intern's conversation, they'd be like,
Lost.
whoa, this is just way too much for me.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna jet. Whereas I'm just like, yeah, I'm having a great time.
Like what about it can you relate to?
I think our conversation is more like fast paced. It'd be like, oh yeah, she's popping off, or like something like that, and I'm like, yeah. Whereas I think some of like older coworkers, they're like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah,
are we
there's,
having
like,
to explain
certain
things?
terms, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Certain
Yeah, yeah.
terms, and then
Yeah.
I do agree with the fast pacedness as well.
Like slang and ADHD coded type of just
Just
like
like behavior.
a
rapid
little bit.
fire
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our topics.
Yeah. So our first topic will be about friendships. So
So I feel really weird and exposed here because like it's the first time I'm sitting not where I'm normally sitting.
yeah,
And I'm
you're
turning
normally
my
sitting
head
on this side too.
so goddamn much. It's so uncomfortable. Sorry. How do you guys fucking do this?
You asked Jenny that.
Yeah, I was like, why are you sitting there?
I feel like I'm on stage right now. I hate
Yeah.
it so much. Oh, sorry, go on.
You
Go
wanna
on.
switch?
No, it's all right. It's all right. We try new things, learn and grow on each day. It's all
That's
right.
hilarious.
Go ahead.
No, what do you think about like your friendships currently?
Yeah.
Are they mostly like millennials?
Yeah.
Gen
I
Z?
think they're mostly people my age. Like, if not, I also relate to people older than me, like the Gen Xers as well.
Have you interacted with many people who are like considered Gen Z at work?
Not really. I mean, a few. I would call maybe like two of them are my friend, and one of them is sort of a like older brother type energy that I have with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't see them as like a peer, I guess.
Okay.
Like a mate, sure, but not like our concerns are just not the same.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just different wavelengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at, and that itself serves as a bit of a barrier for connection. But maybe that's just me. Do you know what I mean?
As in, like, do you think you put that barrier in place?
It's hard to talk to someone about like all-encompassing things without sounding like you're just giving them advice if they've yet to experience
Okay.
the things that
Yeah.
you're going to experience, that you've been experiencing. You
Yeah.
know?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What about you, Ro?
I think a lot of my friends are millennials. They're slightly older than I am, but I think, again, like Sam said, I think it's that emotional maturity part that allows me to have really deep conversations with all of my friends, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
It's either millennial, like later millennials or Gen Zers, I reckon. But even Gen Zers, I think there's a little bit of a cap. I'm not gonna lie. There was one person I worked with previously, and I love her. I'm still friends with her to this day. But
I know exactly who you're talking about, but yes.
she
Do they
had.
listen to the podcast?
I'm not
No,
too
I
sure.
don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But yeah, maybe I'll like
We'll clip
let her
it.
know
Yeah,
that she's
clip
been
it.
mentioned.
Share the podcast. Yeah.
But I think when she had just graduated high school and was starting her her first big corporate job right out of high school, and pops up to her because she is so intelligent, so smart, but socially, I felt so backwards. I was like, whoa, I feel old. And she was only 3 years younger than
Younger.
me,
Yeah, at
but
that point.
I just felt such a big difference. And I'm like, if a Gen Z came out, let's say 7 years younger than me, like I just feel
Oh,
like there would
yeah.
be such a big disparity there.
What
Yeah.
caused you to feel that way?
The intensity was heightened even more. Like the conversation intensity was
Okay.
heightened more.
Not the topic, but the actual.
As in like
just-
her personality.
Her
and her character.
personality,
Yeah.
extremely energetic,
Yeah.
extremely bubbly.
Yeah.
She would we worked at like a chartered accounting firm together,
Mm-hmm.
and she would go up to the partners and go like, "Yes, queen, slay."
Oh shit! Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Baby boomer vibes over there.
To be fair, certain partners really love that energy because I
Yeah.
think in
It made them feel
corporate
youthful,
slavery,
you
you're
know.
just kind of down in the dumps a lot. So bringing her in was just like a breath of fresh air.
Uh-huh.
But I guess if you were to kind of have like a one-on-one conversation and you're not used to that pace, you would feel extremely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's a cap even with Gen Z for me, but I think that's my sweet spot. I don't think I'm really friends with anyone that much older than me. I've got like, I think I know one coworker that I'm pretty close to, but I think that's pretty much it. I think it's life stages at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
For me, because we're on the cusp of being millennials, right?
Yeah.
I technically have a lot more Gen Z friends than millennial friends. Like you guys have met my friends.
Yeah.
They're pretty much younger than us, right?
But this is a thing that you like do you know what I mean? Like you just have younger friends. Like,
yeah.
because of the choices that you've made. you
Yeah,
know? Like,
technically, like,
Out on his choices.
no, like it's just, I don't know. It's just like I do know millennials, but it's just through science society at uni, through the workplaces
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
It's just younger people.
Yeah.
And you just tend to hang with them more, and then there's not a lot of millennials at those places,
Yeah.
so I don't see them or spend time with them.
but
Fascinating.
Is that just because you can't really mentor a millennial? Like that's part of your thing, right?
Oh, I still have millennial friends, but
Yeah, but like
No.
the mentoring thing that you have, like that would skew more towards like a younger
I
audience.
guess that may.
But do you think
play a
that's what
part.
he's trying to do? Like
I-
mentor.
I mean, not necessarily, but I think it bleeds into it. You know.
To an extent, yeah, I can see it happening, but I don't know.
It could not. Like I'm
I'm-
just asking.
I think I'm posing the question to Luke now. Like,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that the kind of
So you
like
gotta step back a
relationship?
bit.
It feels wrong.
Like, is that the kind of relationship you think you're forming with like Gen Zs?
Maybe sometimes, but not all
Yeah.
the time. It's not like I
Yeah, okay.
actively look
Yeah,
out for it.
yeah.
It's just like sometimes it's just easier just to vibe with someone younger. Or something
Interesting.
sometimes. But I do also realize, like Ro, I
Yeah.
have now an age limit. as well. Yeah, it's just like maturity level I need. I can't keep hearing stories about going clubbing and getting drunk
bro.
and saying it's
Yes.
the worst experience of your life. I'm like, no, you do not know yet. You are still too young. I can still outdrink you, so shush. But yeah, I kind of
That's
spiel,
fair.
you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Ro, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask if it was probably also lifestyle, like different stages of life as well. So I think millennials are at that stage in their life where I guess there's a lot more conversation around like settling down.
Oh, yes.
The whole like work
Don't
and
point to
everything
me.
like that.
Sorry,
Sorry,
sorry. It's just like
What do
this.
you
Sorry,
Fucking rude, man.
What do you mean? That
Yeah.
is you.
Shut up.
And then so I feel like potentially it's, oh, you're not really relating to the millennials, whereas Gen Z seems to be at that stage of life that you are in
Yeah.
currently. And so
Yeah.
there's just that like
Commonality.
commonality
Yeah.
that you guys are bonding over.
That does make sense.
Yeah, because my partner works in like a charter firm as well, but he started a bit later, so he's just surrounded by a bunch of like, again, like 7 years old, younger than
that's
us. Gen Z
exhausting,
is
man,
kind of
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
And all of them are just gone like, you're old. We're 26. Like we're not.
You're
but
not
I think
old, but,
yeah.
like,
I think-
See, I don't understand. Like, why do Gen Z people have to do that? They have to state that you're old. Like, the audacity of
Yes,
these people.
I do
You don't go
agree
to a
with that.
grandma and like, you're old. That does not play out.
Honestly, you are so right. You're
No
so
respect
right.
with these kids, bro. I
Yeah,
swear to God.
none.
I'm sure like
none.
us in
Oh.
kindergarten
Those darn
called our
kids.
teachers old at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but we were children, and those were
Okay, yes,
that's
fair,
different,
fair
bro.
enough. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're not that much different age-wise. I so understand. My sister calls me old all the time, and I'm like, girl, I do feel it sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm getting closer to 30. Like, let's stop. But anyway.
There is the polite kind of way of saying old, but when they ask your age, and then you tell them, and they're like, huh, wow. But then they're like, whoa, you're that old.
Yeah.
That's what it's.
Gross.
Yeah.
Well, usually for me, it's like they say it nicely, but then they're like, oh, you look young for your age. I'm like, oh,
I get that all the
thanks.
time.
I'm like, oh, thanks. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I will hate when that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I get my age now. Like people try to guess my age, and I get my actual age, and I'm so fucking sad.
You're like, this. I'm offended.
And then they try to back it up. It's like, oh no, because you sound mature for your age. Just like, shut the fuck up. Man. Just say I look old. It's fine, bro. Like,
What about you, Sam?
That's hilarious.
In terms of friendships.
In terms of friendships, I would say it's more millennials. There is a couple of Gen Zs, but I think you're like the exception. I think you're like my cap. I think any younger,
really?
I'm like, I
26
don't,
is a cap.
yeah. I think 2, max 3 years is plenty for
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Half of the
think,
people on our Euro trip is under 26.
yeah,
Whoa.
I know it's gonna be crazy.
Or not half. Let's say a quarter.
I'll party
a quarter.
hard. Don't get me wrong. I'll have a great time, but we ain't talking about like deep stuff.
Fair enough.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
fair
gonna
enough.
be
You
very
can talk
different.
to other
Yeah.
crowd, but
Like I'll listen to all the goss, you know, about like everyone going to the clubs and you know hooking up and whatnot, and I'll be great. I'll pay attention, but
the tea, spilling the tea.
yeah, I'll be there for the tea. But I don't know. I could add a little bit of my experience, but like they're not gonna listen to me. So I'm like, I'm not. Yeah,
No, fair enough.
it'll be different because yeah, I think I mostly always have had friends similar age,
Yep.
like similar age or older.
Okay.
And only a couple of years older. Yeah. And then there are people in my life who are like older than 30s, like mid 30s.
Yep.
And even though I'm close with them, there is still a bit of like a, you know, timeline gap. Like
Yeah.
they're at the age where they've got families,
Yeah.
they've got kids, they've got, you know, a house, they've got a dog. Like definitely almost settled.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I have sometimes difficulties. Like I think I go to them more for like advice.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think same. Would you
Yeah.
guys like ever date like someone within a different generation?
No,
How old are we talking?
that's
I
a
mean,
huge
like,
gap, isn't
Just
it?
Yeah,
like
that's a massive
just
gap.
two
In
different ones.
general.
Just like the adjacent generation.
Oh,
No. Oh.
what have a cusp of
Yeah.
what?
So we
of
could
one.
date younger.
Yeah, we can date younger.
I
That's
was
But we
gonna
fine.
all
date
identify
younger.
as millennials, right?
Yeah.
So like, would you date a Zoomer? Is that right?
The one
Zoomer?
above? No, I don't know. What,
Zoomer. Gen Z. That's
Oh, is that what it's called?
yeah. Isn't that no? Am
I
I
did not
dumb?
know
I
that.
know,
No,
okay.
you might be
Yeah.
right, but I did not
Okay.
know
I don't know,
that.
right? I
No.
just call it Gen
A Gen Z.
Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No.
Would you- no.
Because that means
Okay.
That's a
millennial. No, think about it.
20-year gap.
No, sorry. Millennials is 1981.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're not in 81. When were you born?
No,
darling?
that's what we're saying.
No, but like you're saying that the millennial like generation is 1981 to 1996.
Yeah.
So you're saying to
That's
date
a
someone
20-year gap.
1980.
well,
Well, you can also go
adjacent
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on either end.
Okay,
Like, would
personally
you-
speaking, as everyone here, the two people sitting beside of me born in 1996, would you
Yes.
date someone that is like 2 or 3 years younger than you?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
2 or 3
that's
years-
it.
okay, yeah.
With the adjacent
No,
generation.
I want to do younger. Sorry.
No, because we clarify that we
No,
can.
it's 'cause
We're
I
happy
sat in the
to.
middle, that's why it's
Yeah.
weird. I can't express myself properly.
He's never sitting in this position
Yeah,
again.
fuck it, I hate it so much.
Yeah. Yes. Date down, fine. Date up. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I would date up, but I wouldn't date down.
Yeah, same. Dating down is weird. Like, it's just,
What do you mean?
it's not weird. For me personally, I feel like I'm doing too much of the coaching, if that's the case, if they don't have experience. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because then, like, age means nothing if you have the experience, right? But then if we're talking, like, a bit of a generational gap, then it feels like you're this person's, like, first thing.
Yeah.
and first
Yeah. I wouldn't want to
whatnot.
do.
I feel like
to be in that.
if
you
it's
know?
we have somewhat of close of a maturity level, then I'll do it.
That's important too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
maturity level
important
is
too.
a huge thing.
Life
at that point.
experience,
Yeah.
maturity.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
That's fair.
no,
What about you, Ray?
I think I'd date up. I
Yeah.
wouldn't date down.
Yeah.
I don't think that would. My partner doesn't count.
How old is your
He's
partner?
not that much younger than me. He's
Yeah.
only like a month, but he loves to rub it in
Oh.
my face. Um,
No, I'm
Like,
a whole,
I-
like, 9 months younger than my partner, and I'm every day. Don't worry.
yeah, okay. All right. It's not just me
old.
getting the slack of it. Yeah, no, I don't think I'd date down. It's the same reason that Sammy mentioned. I think there's,
Yeah.
oh no, Vu mentioned. It's just, I feel like there's an emotional maturity level where I think I am older than my age and having to then train.
No, train.
That sounds really bad. but,
Yeah.
like,
Yuck, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guide. Let's use
Guide.
guide.
Yes. Yeah.
on like any methods of sorting out discussions or anything like that. I think that's just I think that would
Yeah.
just be too much. So
That's true.
So even though your partner's younger than you, would you say that he's also still as mature as you are?
I think that was probably different. We've been dating for a while, so we kind
Okay.
of grew up
Right,
learning
right, okay.
as we went. It's a bit of a different scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah.
You guided each other.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's the best
shit,
way to
yeah,
wrap it
yeah,
up. Yeah, I
true.
think we guided.
That's really
we
nice.
more guided
That's
each
a
other.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
but I think I probably pushed a bit more.
I don't know his name, but you heard it just now.
You heard it here. He's gonna listen to this.
His prefrontal lobe hasn't like formed yet, so it's alright.
No. He's
not his fault.
He's completely fine.
It's not his fault.
Oh goodness.
All right, Sam, what is our next topic, please?
Next topic is about workplace.
Oh, workplace.
Yes, because that's an important aspect of our life, a big chunk of our life. Yeah. Sorry. No. Well, I wanted to talk about, I guess, like I have not really interacted with many, like in my workplace, in my workplaces that I've been before and current, I've never really worked with a person considered Gen Z. I've always been the youngest.
Yeah, same.
So
Same.
I don't really know too much about the etiquette of like a Gen Z person in a workplace. I only know myself and the older millennials. So yeah, I thought it would be interesting to kind of hear about how everyone else's experiences are with Gen Zs if you have experienced it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a bit more like unprofesh.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
A little bit
Agreed.
more like that. You know what I mean? like, and like with age they'll learn. You know what I mean?
Expression,
Like, that's
that
just-
same tone.
It's kind of like a little bit more unhinged and a little bit like less put together.
But do you not think that that's how we were at like 18?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I think at that age, like we were the same, but like
But they're worse now.
I think, yeah,
No,
I think we
I
had a
think-
bit more respect.
I
little
I
bit
don't know.
more.
I think back then I was like that, but in like menial jobs where it just didn't matter. You know,
Okay.
like you know, Subway, hospitality,
Yeah.
Macca's. You know, where you can just
Yeah.
be like
that's
weird and unhinged.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
I think that's the gateway job to
Yeah.
help you refine your like work ethic and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you go
Like
to your
people
real
skills.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I find that these days, Gen Z, they're skipping that and they're going to the
That's
big
what I'm
hard
saying.
jobs.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
not doing like the menial shit anymore. They're just like mindset, grindset. I want to earn a bunch of money. So their
think you're
first
right,
job is like
yeah.
some corporate ass gig.
Yeah.
Which like, but they're still that.
Yeah.
And like we were that working at Macca's because working at Macca's sucked.
Yeah.
And like that's how you get through the day.
Yeah.
But then like, okay, working corporate still sucks. But you got to have like an air of professionalism and shit.
That's true.
Like doing that. But
That's
if you're still
actually a
like,
good point.
you know, it's,
Yeah,
it's just kind of
yeah.
weird. That's
Yeah.
my experience. That's
Yeah.
not to talk
Yeah.
down, but
Yeah.
like that's sort of the vibe.
No, I get
Yeah.
that. I actually really do understand that because I understand that when we were like 18, we were just like grinding, finding like a job that we, you know, just get us money at the end of the day. Whereas nowadays, yeah, people are trying to like skip all of that and try and get like good paying jobs. And trying to, I guess, prove that they're capable, which is good and bad. Like it's good to like kind of throw yourself in a situation, but you kind of like the people on the outside have to experience like guiding this one person, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that is per se, but
Is that
Yeah.
what you saw, Luke, in like your jobs?
At one of my jobs, the job that I cannot name, but you guys know
yes,
of, it was the place to go right after people finish high school.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was a lot of like older guys, and then there was the younger ones, and their work ethic was hella
yeah.
right. It was
Yeah.
like
18-year-old boys.
18-year-old
Haven't
boys
worked a
and
day in their
girls.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just only there for the good money, good pay. At
Yeah.
that age, it would be like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
amazing for them. So they're just here there, and it's doing the bare minimum, like just
Damn.
like and like
That's crazy.
it's up to a point where everyone's at that age, you know, like with how social media is, you can't really tell people what to do and whatnot. And with Gen Z, I feel like they have too much, how do I say, because of this internet, it's like too much freedom in their mind that they don't
Yeah.
care for or respect like the workforce and the managers and all that. Like they get a warning and then I'm like, oh, we'll do good. And then they go back to like messing around and whatnot until
Yeah.
they get told off again. And then it's like a repetitive cycle.
Yeah.
And they don't care that they get sacked kind
Yeah.
of thing. And they're like, oh, I can leave anytime I want. but I'm just here for the money and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to deal with in the past. I'm like,
Yeah, so you're saying the kids don't have work ethic.
Yeah.
They're not afraid of anything.
exactly.
Yeah, you got some
Yeah.
boom ass shit,
Yeah,
bro.
and they
okay.
believe that they can go and find a better job,
Yeah.
find better money, but just
Yeah.
can't be bothered to leave a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my experience of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mad. Yeah. yeah. But that's how I see it. What about you two? Like at your current workplace, what is your experience with younger people?
Do you want to go first?
I feel like with all the workplaces that I've been to, including my current one, everyone has a pretty good, or most people have a pretty good work ethic. I don't think I've ever met someone who's, if I'm giving a task to, they would be like, nah, stuff it. I'm not doing this, which is good. I think when I'm also assigning tasks to people who are younger than me, I think the way that I approach them, because I am Gen Z, I guess, so I know how to communicate with them.
Because you're with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think they feel comfortable coming to me with questions, which is also really great. And I think the really great thing about working with some of them is that they actually come back to me with quite analytical questions, which is also a bonus, which I think that's just a testament to our HR system, really, where
Yeah.
I don't think I really come across anybody who really slacks off. Oh, actually, no, I thought of one.
Yes, bring it up now. Bring it up. I was gonna ask.
No, when she was talking about it, I had one too that she talked about to me about it, and I was like,
about that one.
But like
Yeah.
your job self-selects though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sorry?
like your job self-selects for people who like are gunners, right?
I think so.
Whereas like
We try
Luke's was like a warehouse type gig.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
allowed
So that's, you know,
anyone, even no
Yeah.
experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think ours, I feel like the interview questions is definitely more geared towards behavioral.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they want to know who you are as a person before they even test you technically.
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah.
But I think a big focus is to hire the right people and with the right attitude,
Yeah.
which really
That's
helps
really key.
out
Yeah.
us. Obviously, I think different areas of the business probably faces different issues.
Yeah.
But I guess in that instance, I think the one
Yeah, dish.
person I was thinking of.
You can say the name. We'll bleep it out.
As much as
No.
you
Or
were
replace the name.
legally able to.
Oh my God, yeah.
fine.
So this person was on a grad rotation. So with my previous team for 6 months,
6 months,
I think.
pretty
Yeah.
sure.
And I don't think anyone had a positive experience from that person in the sense that we would assign him tasks and he'll go like, oh yeah, I'm just working on this other task that one of my other colleagues gave to him. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like get to it whenever you get to it. It's not done by like nearly home
deadline.
time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm already so busy. I just need to get this done because my manager was kind of pushing. And so I just did it myself. The next day, talked to my colleague that I'm pretty close with, and I was like, and we were just checking in on each other, like, oh, are you busy at the moment? Like, how are you going? And I was like, I am kind of busy at the moment. And then she was like, you should try and hand off tasks to him. And I was like, I did, but he said he was doing your task. And then she was like, he said she was doing my task.
Yeah.
But I think this was just a very common reoccurrence. I think he just didn't do any of the work that was assigned to him. He was always doing other pieces of work. We tried giving him feedback. I don't think our manager was ballsy enough to give him the
truth.
direct feedback. Yeah.
Right, that's your job.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
People still like that.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Yes. They like playing the good cop.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I think it might. I don't know. Maybe it's. I have a theory that one day, if I was to be in that position, because I'm Gen Z, I'm just gonna be like professional but unhinged. I'm gonna go like, look, your work is just not up to standard. Like no one was happy with your performance.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I
have it,
feel
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think my main I guess I'll talk on my work experience, I guess. My main but kind of the way that I've seen it is that managers don't really speak their minds. Like even some of the older managers, I don't feel like they're willing to confront the people that they need to confront.
Yeah.
Even in a professional sense. Like you can definitely confront in a professional manner my current manager is pretty much like that, which I really respect, because I think at the end of the day, I just want to get honest feedback, and I also want them to provide honest feedback to others if something's not up to par. And I don't know if, again, this is like the Gen Z in me, but there was one time in a group or in a whole meeting of senior managers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
They were just talking about the culture in their team, and I was kind of an outsider. I'm helping their part of the business out, where they were talking about certain things in the culture, and I get like it felt very people pleasy the way that they were addressing the issue to each other.
Can you give us an example, or is it no?
I think that might.
Okay, damn,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
But it's like, okay, here is an issue. Oh, I think this issue is because X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, that's not the. You're not pinpointing the actual issue. You're just kind of skirting around it.
Yeah.
Just to not make people mad at you if you don't say anything.
So it kind of feels like they're like kind of removed from the situation because they
Yeah.
don't really know the situation at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, sorry, a little thing. Do you reckon like Gen Zs are too sensitive these days?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. In a workplace? Or just in general?
Like, because all that sugarcoating, right? You sugarcoat because you don't want to hurt their feelings or like, yeah. It's a HR thing right away.
I honestly think, yeah, like, but I think that's started from like schooling, to be honest. Like the way that we've kind of catered to kids.
This
in the
is too
schooling
dangerous
system.
now, okay?
Yeah. I don't know.
Take a breath.
I don't know.
It's a controversial topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding the
I
words
think
now.
so. I don't know. I think the kids nowadays are kind of, I guess, babied in a sense. Like they're treated like precious objects.
Okay, well, conversely, I present to you maybe the notion that we just normalized abuse for a really long time. And then now
Yeah, there's a lot
we're
more
thinking
pushback.
it's not okay.
Yes.
And then everyone's like, oh, they
But
had
I
it
think-
easier than me.
Yeah.
I think that's my mentality. So my mentality is we're wasting time not fully addressing the issue when it would just be rectified if you just said your actual thoughts or like properly
Yeah.
pinpoint
Yeah.
the problems and
That's-
communicate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different thing versus like, I don't know, parents being like, when I was a kid, I got punched in the face for not doing my homework.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then like the kids are so,
Or
we're
like you're scared
babying
of getting
them.
in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, wait, is it like
Like-
the classic Asian thing? It's like, oh, I didn't do homework. I got hit by
Is
my
this our
mum with a
past trauma
belt.
coming out? Like,
But this is what the whole podcast is about. Don't worry about it.
like that. And then when a kid talks about how their parents yelled at them, it's like,
Yeah, I think I'm drawing a line that is like making sure we're seeing the difference between babying the new generation of like how parents or how people view like I once got like hit at school by my teacher because I didn't
Yeah.
like finish my homework when like that is just illegal. That's just like
Yeah,
a thing
yeah,
that isn't
yeah.
allowed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then like their view was that the kids have it easier, but like we're just removing abuse from the system, right? Versus are the kids nowadays actually in the absolute of the definition being too sensitive to actual things?
I think there's so much gray area now.
Yeah.
Rather than black and white, that anything that fits into the gray area, pardon me, like they can kind of get away with anything. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like one example was one of my coworkers who has a kid, like had got caught up for like a small incident at school, and like she had to go to the school and like remove that child. But she mentioned that it wasn't a serious like situation.
Right.
For example, I don't know.
Yeah, the
just, like,
schools don't want to be liable.
Liable,
For
Yeah, it's a legal
So-
thing too.
Yeah.
I'm just like seeing things like that and allowing your child to like make an excuse and like do things like that just so that they can be pulled out of class, for example, that could, change the dynamic.
Right.
I don't know.
That
I
is an instance.
I do think, like to Luke's question, I do think they're more sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that also, Ro, as being a younger person?
I I actually do.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I think they're more sensitive.
I saw that, bro. It's a mirror.
I think also coming from my perspective, yes, I think we are a lot more sensitive. I think it's not just about like, oh, we don't want to waste time, like just stop fluffing around. There's definitely a sense of, I guess, urgency as well with this gen, that they just want things done really quickly.
Yeah.
And so they'll just kind of say what they feel. I think that sense of urgency has created a little bit of desperation. Is that the best way to say it?
Can you elaborate?
So, like, for example, you guys had mentioned that I guess we want to cut corners to get like that really high paying job and such. And I think it's like the idea of cost of living at the moment. That's just like, oh, if we keep like doing how it used to be, like we'll never like. There's just no hope for
Okay,
us.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's what I mean by there's that sense of desperation that because if we're not getting what we want, we will then
You're
kind of
scrambling
yeah.
for resources,
Correct,
essentially.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's how I.
How does that
feeling.
relate to sensitivity then?
I think it's just that like little bit of desperation that you would then just kind of lash out or like just say.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm thinking. So like, if you think about it, if someone has an issue with their pay, they won't just go like, oh, maybe if I stay here for like a year more, like a year longer, it will turn out to be better.
That's so true.
Like, I'll have conversations with my manager and stuff. I think someone from my generation wouldn't even hesitate to just walk up to their manager and just go like, listen, I want to talk about my work performance and
Yeah.
remuneration. Should we schedule a meeting
Good
now?
power,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, I think
think-
there's
yeah.
more. I think there's more like conversation on that like topic about like being more capable and more brave to
Yeah.
have those conversations. Where I think with our generation, we were very hesitant to kind of put ourselves in those
Yeah.
situations and like fight for what like how we were valued.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's great being on this end.
yeah.
So keep your head down, work hard, and then
Yeah.
eventually one day maybe they'll bless you. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Like maybe they'll see your value, but no,
Yeah.
I think I do agree. Like there's definitely more of a sense of knowing. I think there's also just more conversations nowadays about pay and
Rights.
remuneration and
Yeah.
rights and whatnot. So I think people are like more looking for those kind of things. And
Yes.
because you're more aware, you're fighting for those things.
I agree.
So,
Yeah. And then I'm also a big fan of the job hopping.
yeah.
Yeah,
Scenario.
it's the only way you get money, really.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think for like our age, we're quite like understanding of like the job hopping
Yeah.
rather than like staying in the.
Oh, yeah,
Staying in
nah.
the
Staying
one
in the
role.
long-
It's
Yeah.
dead, man. You know,
Yeah.
the
Some
company's not going to
people
look after
do.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're family. It's like, off, man. You know what I mean? When was the last time you liked your family member? Like, let's be real. But
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah, what?
All people, you cannot say that.
I swear,
So
it's
fun.
sitting here. It's so uncomfortable.
He's bringing out the worst in here.
It really
right?
is, right? I hate it so
Honestly.
much. Nah, but like they just don't like they'll say we're like a family and then just pay you nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is.
Oh, I don't fall for that trap anymore.
Yeah, nah, bro,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
never again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I was very like loyal growing up to stick with my like older
I get that. Yeah,
companies.
100%
Yeah.
get that.
And I really enjoyed like, you know, the company and like the people specifically. So then yeah, I was
Yeah, but like
why
get
I
your
stayed.
experience, move
Yeah.
on.
correct. It took me a while to get into that mentality that, you know, I need to find a job that like values me
Yeah.
in a money sense.
yeah, yeah.
It took me a while. So yeah.
Fair
To
enough.
this life, but I mean,
Yeah.
like I think everyone's sort of reaching that point too.
Yeah.
That is hovering around our sort of age
Yeah.
group.
I think it's just
Yeah.
the exposure of internet. We just are more well informed of what we deserve and all
100%.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's why Gen Z have that
Yeah.
mentality. It's just we're more exposed to the internet than we are.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So we know better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And just like salary isn't reflective of like life quality anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just not.
Yeah.
Like 80K or something used to be like that's a you know like you
Decent
raise a
amount.
whole family based on that one salary. Now like bro, that's not even.
Yeah.
You can't do
Not enough
half
to
of a
cover
thing,
all
bro.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam? Do you have this is the person you were thinking of the same as the person Ro was speaking of?
No, well, the person that I was thinking of was that person, but I have not worked directly with that person. But I knew that person would have been brought up.
I showed her the feedback.
Yeah. So,
Damn.
like, yeah.
I look at what I
all
see.
the good stuff from like
Yeah.
my end, and then likewise.
I love. We definitely
Yeah.
swap stories, but yeah, I don't know. I only have technically one person in my team who's younger than me. Because yeah, I'm the second youngest technically. And so, but he's great. Like his work
Yeah.
ethic's great. He's a super sweetheart. And yeah, like he's been in the company for a bit longer than I have, but yeah, like
He's a rare exception, though.
yeah, I think
He's
so.
great.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
great person, and so I'm blessed to have that one experience of a Gen Z worker. Because yeah, I
I think
haven't
we're
really had
calling
any
out
else.
on HR. To be
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
you know,
Where's Sophie?
Yeah. So like overall, your experience with like the younger generation as workers, is that
it's been mostly like, I think it's been mostly like good so far
okay?
in
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
current workplace.
Yeah.
Maybe if you speak to like someone like a lot older, they'll
Yeah,
be like
yeah.
all
More
these like
experience.
shitty little workers.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But
Talking about their rights and.
more pay back in my day.
Yeah,
You mean a lunch break with the?
Yeah, no, but I think where we work at,
Yeah.
they're pretty diligent
Yeah.
on hiring the right people,
Yeah.
which is good.
No,
I
I
think if we
agree.
were probably at different workplaces like yourself, Luke, I don't think we'd be as blessed.
yeah.
Wait, so did you help Sam get the job?
Maybe we can't answer that question. Let's cut that out.
No, sorry. No, I was just curious. I'm like, wait a minute. We were talking about how Sam was like transitioning jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned it now. Like, you guys
I
work
think
together.
that's not my story.
Okay,
to tell.
okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I'm gonna cut the last 2 minutes out.
Yeah.
Mental load.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. Let's move on to our next point. So, before we go to our specific experience about how we felt our age bracket, let's go through some words that each generation use, right? So
If we use, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys some words, and you tell me if you guys use it or not, and know
If
what the
we've ever
meaning is.
heard, if we've
Yeah.
ever heard them too, yeah.
So let's go with millennials. So, Ro, you can tell us if you heard these before.
No.
Yeah.
Target.
I'm just saying, if Chockers is on that list, I only recently learned about that one.
Really?
Yeah.
It is not on the list, but
Okay.
What is that?
chonkers.
Chockers.
Chockers.
Oh, chockers.
Yeah,
What
it
is
means
chockers?
it means I think it's an Australian
Like
slang
chock-a-block?
for busy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yum chockers, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about like the traffic. It's like a chock-a-block.
It's like or you
Yeah.
can
I'm
use
I'm not going to use
chock-a-block.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it.
But
Yeah.
let's hear how many of these are.
So these are
Yeah.
pretty standard. Sus.
yes.
Yeah.
You know what it means?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hesitation is
Other words, bay.
Yeah.
So that's a millennial word. Do you guys use that often?
Not a fan.
No.
Not a fan, really?
No, don't like that.
No.
What
I
do you
don't
call your
like-
partner?
Just
You.
add the B in the middle.
At the beat?
Babe.
Oh, sorry. When you called him at the beat, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Sorry.
I don't know why they shortened
dumb.
it. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Low key. Pretty standard
Yeah,
one.
I use that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
A stan. Do you guys know what that one is?
Yes.
What?
Oh no.
Ooh, these guys are the
No.
To be a fan. Like, I
be a
stand.
You know, like Korean idol
Korean
stan,
stans.
like.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
don't know.
slay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Standard one.
Yeah.
Shook.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we coined this word, but woke.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
millennial?
Apparently it's
guess so.
millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're claiming that, really?
Yeah.
Claim
I was
that.
surprised, right? Thirsty.
Thirsty. Yeah.
Thirsty.
Okay.
Oh.
To be horny.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I was like, is there a different one that I don't know of?
And the typical one,
Dead.
fam. So
Yeah.
something
Fam.
we all going down.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I
Yeah?
got it pretty good on that. I should.
All right, Gen Z. Aura maxing.
What the fuck
What?
is that?
You saw? Sorry.
Sorry, what?
Did you see my face? I'm like, what is that?
So would you like to explain it to her before? Oh, I should.
Oh, is that minus 1,000 aura?
Yes, yes,
chain?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Explain.
Yeah.
What?
It's just like vibes, but like to the max, kind of. You know?
Wait. Can you use it in a
Oh,
what is it called?
sorry. I
So this
realised
guy
that's
is
probably not-
aura maxing with his Gucci belt and whatnot.
I hate it so much.
So it's pretty much aura is about your coolness, and aura maxing is when someone does something cool and it's like everyone's
max.
and
Yeah.
they're increasing
Okay.
their
Yeah.
like
That's-
coolness.
They're like, you know, you can sense that they're like chill.
Do people
you
actually
know?
say that in real life? Oh my god.
These
Like
days,
aura maxing?
Aura
Like-
maxing, yeah. This
God.
guy's aura maxing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh wait, this list doesn't
I don't
contain
really
any.
believe in like those like aura cards. Oh my god.
There's
I
an
don't know.
aura ring now as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, there's aura ring.
What's this?
Have you heard of like?
Do you have one?
What's this?
No, that's not yours.
No,
That's
no, I'm not selling my data out of Bezos right now. No, it's just a fucking
like-
ring.
okay.
Like there's like these aura reading cards where it's like tarot reading cards, but
Oh,
then
okay.
with these auras, it gives you like a color and it kind of like describes like how you're feeling and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I used to have a mood ring as a kid. Is that the same?
I remember
Yeah.
mood ring.
Yeah, okay.
Similar,
Okay.
yeah.
But that was like body heat.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I was always green. I don't know. I was green.
Nice,
Oh
nice.
gosh.
Next one is calm.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, I use that.
Calm. It's calm. It's like it's pretty much like
Cool.
The
it's
word
cool.
calm.
Yeah.
But they say calm now.
Okay, yeah. This makes
She
sense.
needs to download TikTok.
No wonder why she created this app just to catch up.
Yeah.
NPC.
Yeah.
MPC.
N.
NPC.
Yeah.
She doesn't
I
play
don't even
games
think
either,
I know
bro.
this one.
Oh,
She doesn't play games
Oh,
either.
I'm not a gamer either.
Yeah, so NPC.
Is it a gamer thing?
It's a non-playable character.
So pretty much, it's when
There's
you.
no way I was guessing that.
I know, right?
So when someone says I feel like an NPC, it's pretty much you just going through life without any like
Goes
your
with
own
emotions.
thoughts,
Yeah.
right? So you're just following the corporate ladder, 9 to 5 job. I feel like an NPC, just going to work, coming home, going to
Did
work, coming home.
Jenny use that term? Why do I feel
It sounds
like
familiar.
She
said
plays what is what does she play?
She plays League.
Yeah,
also not a
and
gamer.
No, I'm
T-
not.
TFT?
bro.
That
TFT.
doesn't-
There it is.
They
They
TFT.
both don't have NPC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything.
Besides the little minions, they don't have it. I'm
This is really
sorry.
showing
Uh,
character.
Simp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's familiar. It's familiar. I don't know what it stands for. Like, I don't know what it means. Wait. As in, a simp is like a person who's like, what's that word?
You'll
Bro,
get
help her
there.
out.
You'll get there.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you'll
Give
get
me-
there.
give me a
No. She'll get there.
Simp is like,
Describe it.
Use it in a sentence.
boo is a simp.
I am.
You know what?
Proudly so, bro.
Someone who's like loves their partner like a lot.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes, right. Yeah, you won. It better be a positive thing.
Yeah.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good
Nice.
thing. There's another term for that though.
Love
Like
all.
a simp.
Adoration, you know what I mean? Just love.
No,
Yeah,
he's
fine.
just trying
There's
to
another-
make himself look good. It was like,
Oh, wait,
There's
I've always
another-
associated simp with kind of a negative
Yeah,
connotation.
there's also
it's,
that too.
it's someone that is like
okay.
whipped.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Whipped.
yeah,
the
yeah,
word.
yes.
Okay, so that's the millennial version.
Of simp.
Yeah. Someone who's whipped.
Yep.
Bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? You need to use this in context.
So,
Wait, what?
What do you think it means? What do you think it means?
It's quite like people just quite
Like, I
literally
bet?
use the word bet.
Yeah.
So
like,
I
all right,
don't
bet.
like you can't
Yeah.
even use it in a sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest one, I think. Well, the hardest one to get there. Like, what do you think it is?
We're making her guess.
Yeah.
as well.
let's
because
go.
I'm mean.
She's gotta learn. It's like,
Learn it the hard way.
Bet. Like it's like okay, like I don't know. Bet.
You're in a realm.
In the right realm?
Yeah, ish.
I don't know. Like
what does bet mean in your own words? Like, as in, like the actual definition of bet.
gambling.
Gambling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're putting all your money's worth in.
So it's like
right?
being confident, like in a situation, being like bet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
She got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yay.
Okay. So they're literally, okay, what I'm thinking Gen Z people are doing is literally just using a word and like, and they're just saying it out without
Yeah.
any.
You mean all language? Like
No, but like it's
Like-
literally like I feel like with ours, it's like shortened terms. It's kind of like a combination of like two words, whereas like theirs is literally the word.
Oh, like a whole different dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
a-
worse,
a
bro.
dictionary.
Like the younger you are, the crazier it gets. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
the brain rot is real, and they're just like using a completely different
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
Okay.
At least you
Yeah.
can get to a definition using these words.
Yeah.
But like Gen Alpha doing skibbity toilet or whatever,
Yeah,
you know that? Like
We're
what
not
is
doing
that,
that.
bro?
We're not doing
Like,
this
do you know
now.
what I'm saying?
Actually, someone put that in the chat, and I don't.
Yeah, Jenny did, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I hate it. It makes me feel unsafe. Like I don't
Do you
like
want to
it.
describe what it is?
I'm not gonna go over it. I hear it from the kids all the
It's a-
time.
it's
No.
kids?
No, they go all the time.
Like I think their language is derived from meme culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas we didn't have that.
I am not
Yeah.
a mean person.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think to my like skibbity toilet is a meme. I think.
Yeah.
Skippity.
Skibbity.
Toilet.
Skibbity
Skibbity.
toilet.
It's like a video that someone made.
Yeah.
And then
And then
what do they
it's
do?
it
me.
got popular. I don't. It's an animated toilet or some shit. I don't
Yeah.
know. But that's
Animated
all it is.
toilet?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of it. There's a whole bunch of it.
Do you know what this is?
I know of it.
We're gonna watch it after this, so you understand. All right.
Okay.
I think at the very least, if you're not into meme culture, you definitely have to be on like TikTok or Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on
to-
Snap.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
Snap's still
Oh,
around.
Snap's back. Really? I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it was-
no. So like, you know the ones that I'm talking about, like the 7 years younger than myself.
Yeah.
Like they're
Oh, yeah.
all on Snap.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy. I thought that was our
outgrew
generation.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we were just over sending
Yeah.
nudes to people. You know, like that's sort of
No,
done
they
now.
love it.
I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sending nudes to people.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
Snapchat's
Yeah.
back. Okay. And then yeah, TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok's where everyone's at. Like,
I never would have guessed Snap coming back.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I think it's
Slowly.
never really died down. Like when our gen, like when we used it, I think it had died off with our gen.
Yeah.
But like soon after, it was pretty much the newer Gen Zers who
That's so
picked up on it, and it's
interesting.
just continued. Like that wave's just continued. So I don't think it's ever really stopped. to
Are
be
they using it in
honest.
the same way? Is it still just like photos
It's still like
and then dies?
photos. It's still what do you call it? Keeping that streak alive.
wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
Fire streak. I
Yes.
remember
Yeah.
that.
Have a different love hearts. for your
Yes.
friends.
That's so true.
All right. Triggered.
Yes.
Oh, Triggered is a Gen Z. That one I know.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've been triggered so much. with that already.
I can use that.
All right. Mid.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, mid. Okay. See,
Ri-
it's literally using just a word. Anyway.
Oh, so like you're saying, you know the definitions of that because it's kind of derived
Yeah.
from an existing word.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Riz.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Like
this-
charisma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'll throw you this
That
one. That
wasn't
wasn't on my
hard,
list.
guys.
Shit.
Cap.
Yes.
I knew it. I knew she would get
This
this.
one. Stop. I've heard this one, but I don't know who used it and what the
Was it me?
Yo.
I think you used it. and
Yeah,
I think
I
I,
was like-
questioned it.
Yeah.
You gotta be capping.
Oh, yuck.
I don't think I said it like that.
That sounded really not natural.
That was
I've
just
heard
like
it.
high
Someone used the
kids,
exact
like-
way to me, and I was like, "What?"
It's more than like just saying the phrase. It's the mannerisms. It's
Yeah.
you got to bring energy to the set. Otherwise, it kind of feels off. You
True,
know?
true, true,
yeah.
true,
I ain't got that. What
Otherwise,
does cap mean?
how do you do
Lying.
for the kids? Yeah.
Lying. You gotta be like, yeah, it's lying.
No cap.
No cap
cap.
is truth.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you.
No cap is true. So
Cap is like,
cap
oh, you're
is
lying.
I don't know. It's no lying. Oh. Okay.
You can use it now. It's part of her
I'm not using
vocabulary.
that.
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
not
no, no,
using
no, no.
that. I feel like it'd be so interesting to go down like the rabbit hole of like Urban Dictionary and like find all those
I love
words.
Urban Dictionary. I use it
Find
so
all
often
those
because of
words.
the new words.
Oh. Are you like all these Gen Zers at work? I don't know what they're saying, so go back to the dictionary.
yeah, that's what I do.
Right.
I feel like it gets
It's a good
like
reference point.
esoteric and like abstract and like weird now.
Yeah.
Like it's just not,
Yeah.
you know,
I agree.
you can't get
It's
there
very profound.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
go to our next part before we go to our
Yes.
concluding question. So, what are your experiences with the new words? Yeah, that's what the question was. Yeah.
No, the question wasn't that, but we can go through that.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's your experience
Yeah.
between the difference between Gen Zs and millennials?
We can go through that. We can go through that.
Anyways.
I think I again don't really have that many people in my life who are Gen Z. There's a couple over here where they just like throw words and then I'm like, huh? But
There
then
was one time at work where I said it during lunch, and you and somebody else just like cracked up, and I was like,
What word was it?
I forgot
I can't remember
now,
the word.
yeah, but I was like, this is not just normal.
she just threw it in the mix and I was like,
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, that was one experience.
yeah. There's a couple. I think there's like just moments where like you're scrolling TikTok and then like you talk about a video
Yeah.
and then like you throw this term and I'm like, what is that? And then you show me and then I'm like, oh, a little bit enlightened.
Yes.
But other than that, I think, and then also get comments from my sister as well. Like she throws these comments out of like questioning me, of these terms, and I'm like, and then she makes me feel really old.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Those are the most kind of experiences that I have.
No, do.
Yeah, no. Like at work, I'm always the younger one, and so usually surrounded by either middle-aged people, like the younger boomers, or like Gen Xers that are like having children,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I just see my future, and I'm so scared.
So what about Maurice's brother? Because he throws, he does my head in.
He does. Bless. I
Maurice's
think
brother is like really young.
he's
Yeah.
he's like
Okay.
10 years younger than me. I think, which gross,
Yeah.
or like 9 or whatever.
He listens to a podcast.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Hi,
what we're
Mark.
giving him.
And bless him, I think he tones it down with me because he just knows I'm not, because his sister is like nerdy as so she would never ever get this. At least I'm more in tune with her, but even then I think he knows to tone it down because it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And his sister as well. Oh God. Okay. I guess they're in my life and bless them, but they do make me feel very ancient.
Yeah.
So fuck the both of you.
No,
Like they are nice enough to
Try to accommodate.
to try and accommodate or like at
Yeah.
least explain,
Yeah,
without
yeah.
judgment what those words mean, which is nice.
I do got to say, Luke, when we had the party, like most recently at your place, obviously the demographic was a lot younger.
yeah.
There was a couple of times where we were having a conversation and I tuned out because I literally had no idea what they were talking about.
What
Yes.
conversation were we talking about?
So I was just like with some of the girls and like they were just chatting and I had no idea like some of the terms that they're throwing out. Literally. I felt so old. I was like, I need to find Vu. And he was like in another group with like young people and I'm like, yeah.
I was also busy
feel you.
dissociating.
Yeah. I was like, I think we're in the same boat.
So the guy started
just-
talking about gym. I was like, okay, I know gym.
Yeah.
I know that. I can do that.
No,
Fair enough. Okay.
it's just really interesting.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah.
For me, besides Maurice's brother,
Yeah.
because he calls me an unk. Do you know what
What?
unk
Yeah.
means?
Yeah, that's rude.
That's just a short version for uncle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it just means like old timer for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I'll say I chew the kids, right?
Okay.
And I was drinking a protein shake, and it was like a lot. Okay, they called me Big Back. I had no idea what that means.
You
that's
big ass.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's pretty much calling
Chunky
you fat.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that.
It's a compliment, bro.
I was like, what does that mean? They all started laughing. And I was like, what does that mean? And then it's like, you know what? You get extra homework, all of you.
That's actually even worse that you didn't
Yeah,
know the term.
exactly.
They-
This is
they probably
bullying,
laugh
bro.
more.
I had to
Oh
go
my God.
back to my other job and was like,
Yeah.
ask for younger people, was like, hey, what does Big Back mean? And they started laughing. And I was like, what? And then they're pretty much calling you fat because
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
drink a lot. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay. Oh. And then I literally the week after, I'm like, guess what I found out? You're all in trouble.
Extra homework now.
That's actually so funny.
Yeah.
That's like the lamest teacher shit ever, bro. Sorry.
But yeah, that's my
Oh,
most
damn.
recent
Gosh.
experience.
That's actually so funny.
Yeah, what about you, Ro?
That's really unfortunate, but that happened to you.
Yeah.
I think my main experience, again, like what I touched on, the whole laughing at lunch situation
Yeah.
about what I had said, and then also a couple work experiences. I think in general, because I am, I'd say on the younger end of where I am at work, I do feel like I need to be extremely mindful of the way that I speak to them,
Yes,
because
sir.
the moment they catch on that I'm kind of more Gen Z than they are, I just don't want the judgment, and I don't
Yeah.
want that to be reflected in my work just because of something that they think is immature, I guess.
I get
That's
that.
true. Yeah, you lose the respect like
Yeah,
immediately.
it's like a
right?
flip switch
Definitely.
between the different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a fair point.
I feel like I have something to prove, and
Yeah.
part of it, a lot of it is me, I guess, dulling down that side of me at work.
That makes sense.
I feel that.
I think I pretty much don't. I don't think a lot of people know at work know how I'm actually like, except like a couple people. I'd say like 3 or 4, to be honest, and none of them are in my team currently, which is
Just send them this podcast. It'll be fine.
oh
Yeah.
no,
It'll be all
they're
good.
lovely. They're so nice. It's just I do feel like I have to tone it down.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I'm not even, I guess, on the extreme end of things, but
Yep.
I still feel very self-conscious about it whenever I'm interacting with them, or if I'm in an interview with them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I hope they don't pick up on the vibe that I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a goofball or anything like that.
It's like the pressure to be one of the good ones, you know,
Yeah.
that they would like pick if they had to choose.
Correct.
Which is like yuck, but like you have to kind of play that game to
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah,
It's true.
That's kind of, I think that's probably my main like work experience that I have. And then just in general, like I mentioned, I think my main concern is I don't really understand some of the millennial slangs. Like I didn't know chockers until I'd say like a year ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, guess what word I found out?
Show and tell.
I think there was another word that my partner used one time, and I was like, I've never heard of this term before. I've forgotten the actual term. I'll search it up later. But I then went to my millennial coworker to be like, if I say this phrase, do you know what I mean?
What is this ancient text?
I thought my partner was just kind of like messing around with me because he kind of likes to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, I need like a second source. I need someone to back me
Chose a
up.
millennial.
So I asked, because he did say it was like a millennial phrase.
Oh.
So then I asked my coworker, and he was like, yes. Immediately like texted it back like, you mean this? And I was like, oh, like
Do you think I'll know it? No, I'm curious.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll go through my
send it to
messages
me.
later. Yeah,
Send it to me.
yeah.
It's like finding someone that speaks Latin to like, you know, just to confirm what it is.
Oh goodness.
All right, cool. I think we hit a good point
Yeah.
today. So let's go to a concluding question. So, what advice do you guys have for people who are struggling at work with the different generations? Yeah, that's a way to say it.
Yeah.
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 Did you have any other experiences though that you wanted to share?
Honestly, I kind of tune out. That's like during lunchtime conversations, kind of similar to what you guys did at the party.
Oh, okay.
That
makes
I think
sense.
it's mainly like they're talking about grocery shopping
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what's
yeah,
for
yeah.
dinner and everything, or
Oh.
like majorly, I guess,
They're kids.
complaining about
Yeah.
the stuff that's going on in their life. And I'm like, this is my lunch break. I just want to eat my food and have a good chat. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be talking about the grocery list.
That's really interesting because I have a different dynamic, right?
Yeah, I like hanging out with your team.
Yeah, my team's great. So my team's like relatively like young,
Right.
like similar age to us.
okay.
So I think we would probably be the majority age in the team.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
that's
a couple of people who are like a bit older than 30s, but they're like young at heart.
Yeah.
And then don't have like families yet. None of them have families, surprisingly.
Yeah, like I'm
it's
sick
different.
of hearing about how expensive childcare is.
Oh.
You know? Do
I
you
mean,
know
like,
what
I
I'm saying?
get it. I
get
understand
it.
as
Yes.
well. Like, I'll
like,
listen to it, but if they keep saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, bro, okay,
during
I get it,
lunchtime,
man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Whatever.
start kinda like,
I don't care about
Not
you.
relatable.
I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
experience it. We'll experience it at some point in our
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
And then we'll go like,
Then we'll
oh, we
complain
get it.
together.
Yeah.
This is true.
But until then, I think keep try and divert conversation back to, I guess, neutral, where it includes everybody. That's what I
Yeah.
try to do, and if it doesn't work, I just tune out.
That's a good point.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think in the workplace specifically, I think it's important to kind of like facilitate situations where, you know, the older generations meet the younger generations and kind of like, you know, there's, you know, mentorship programs and mentoring programs that I think would help, you know, break that barrier a little bit more. I don't think I'll ever understand Gen Z slang, but you know, I'll try to make an attempt to, you know, try and find similarities and I guess teach them and guide them in any way I can if I was in that position.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'd probably say like there's stuff to be learned on either side. I think like just because
That's
you're
so
older
true.
doesn't mean like you can't learn anything from the younger generation.
Yeah.
So be open to that and like kind of be respectful of like we're just kind of people, like we all have something to bring to the table. Just because you've been around for longer doesn't mean jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So being receptive to new ideas is like how a thing survives. So
Yeah.
you know, listen to the younger people basically.
Yeah.
Everyone should listen to each other.
Yeah,
Just keep an open mind.
I
yeah.
agree.
You know,
I think that's really relatable in the times now when you know,
Yeah,
we're
bro.
incorporating with like more tech and AI.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I think that's really
and just
Oh,
human
I
rights. You know,
love like the idea of new tech coming into work.
yeah. It
Some
is
people are
quite
not
exciting and
there.
innovating. Yeah. But I can understand the apprehension from some like of the older generation.
Yeah.
Like it's like new. They've never, you know, tested it. There's
They're
also like the
comfortable.
security and
Yeah.
like safety and whatnot.
yeah.
So
Like I'm on the
Yeah.
side that like AI is like terrifying, but like that's
yes,
Oh, I love it. I
I'm
love
I'm
AI.
in between.
Let's talk about that soon.
Yeah, we should do. We should do.
and, like, AI replacing critical thought. But anyways, what about you, Luke?
Yeah. And jobs.
You guys make such good ideas. But I got nothing else. Okay, on the like worst case scenario, if you can't vibe, just have some small talk and then just find the people that you can vibe with and stick with them.
Someone for you.
Such a cop out
Yeah, bro.
answer.
Such a
good answer,
I
man.
can't. You guys gave excellent answers. It's like, hey, I gotta be different. Go to C.
Nah, E minus, bro.
Minus it is. Not enough.
Oh
But yes. Well, we hope you guys
That's funny.
enjoy the app and enjoyed
This
Ro.
one was unhinged.
Yes.
This one was
Thanks,
weird.
Ro, for
I was
joining.
Thank you, Ro.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope to have you back on soon. And for the rest of you guys who are listening, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you liked the episode, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
You can listen to us weekly on Spotify or watch us on YouTube.
If you're interested in more content, check out our Instagram and TikTok.
Comment on any of our platforms if you have a question or a topic that you want us to cover.
See you guys next time.
Bye.